Okay, hi. Happy Sunday. Sorry that you're in my bedroom. And that anyway. So my name is Kelsey. I've been in the ward for about a year, and I came to this ward because I'm living with some family in Mapleton. Initially I was doing an internship for school, then I graduated in December, and now I'm just working full time as a recreational therapist. So I get to have fun every day at work and help these teenage boys that I work with, and it's a lot of fun. Um, I am not here at church with you guys today because I'm on a family trip. We're about to leave in like an hour. We're going to Lake Powell, and it's kind of cool because this place is one of my favorite places. I grew up going there, and it kind of relates to what I want to share with you guys about ministering. So, um, there's this quote that I adore. It goes, "A river cuts through rock, not because of its strength, but because of its persistence." Um, so Lake Powell is just a bunch of red rock and a river going through it. I'm pretty sure it's the Colorado River that feeds into this big lake and is held together by this big dam. And about 5 million years ago, this canyon was created by something called differential erosion. So pretty much it took 5 million years for this river to cut through this rock and to form this winding through this beautiful rock. And I have these statistics down. 11 million years ago, this plateau that river cuts through was formed. Um, and then it also said that 300 million years ago, through like volcanic um, formation, these rocks were formed. So 300 million years ago, rocks are forming, and 11 million years ago, that plateau forms, and 5 million years ago, this river cuts through this rock. And so for the last 5 million years, we've had our sweet Lake Powell. So the reason that this relates is because I believe ministering is most effective with persistent efforts. I think a lot of times we cut ourselves short and think, I can't do this ministering assignment because I'm not brave enough to go to this sister's house, or I'm not faithful enough, I don't know all the answers, or I'm afraid of how they'll respond. I don't know if they like chocolate chip cookies or brownies, so I don't want to get it wrong. A lot of times we test our strength and we think that we just can't. We're not strong enough. But I feel like the strongest form of ministering is persistence. And I have a testimony of that because of one of my friends. Her name is Mary Lynn Ryberchick. When I met her, her name was Mary Lynn Soderholm. And she is, she's pretty old. She has MS, and she's just this very physically crumbling woman, but she is very spiritually strong. And I was amazed by her faith when I met her. I was serving as a missionary in Michigan when I met her, and there was a lot of cool interactions we were able to have with her. But one of the things she shared with us is that she was inactive for like 40 years, not going to church, but she had persistent, at the time, visiting teachers who always showed love to her. And no matter how much she rejected them or turned them away, they strived to show God's love for her. And eventually she found faith, and she started participating in the ordinances of the gospel of Jesus Christ again, and became what we would consider active in the church. But she always accredits that to these sisters that were persistent for her. And this part of her story that I got to witness was me and my companion were serving in this area for more than 3 months together. And so we had the the branch roster memorized. We knew who was in the branch, active or not. But one day we got an updated version, and there was a name John Ryberchick on this on this roster, and so we called him, reached out to him, and it turned out that he joined the Church of Jesus Christ when he was in Arizona, right after the death of his son, his wife, and his best friend, and really found peace in the gospel of Jesus Christ, and went out with the missionaries and taught about the Book of Mormon. And he was so excited. He told us, I have been praying for somebody to call me, because he had those losses in his life. So he decided to move to Michigan and live with his brother, who was in the boundaries of our branch. And so we set up an appointment to see him. Where he lived was about an hour away, still in our area. It was a big area. But each day he called us like, please don't forget to come. Please don't forget my Book of Mormon. Please come, please come. But because he lived with his brother, we had to bring his sister with us. So we brought Mary Lynn Soder home. And she was so sweet to John and was such a good friend. And they were the same age, and so they really connected. You see where I'm going with this? And by the next time we came back, John was telling us stories of his family history, because Mary Lynn was helping him with his family history. And they were able to live the gospel of Jesus Christ together and support each other. They started dating, and Mary kind of kept it a secret. And I remember her telling us one day, or I asked her one day, why do you like John? Why are you dating John? And she looked at me like it was the stupidest question, and she said, because he loves the Lord. And it was just so beautiful to see these two come together. And I remember right at the end of my mission being able to meet them at the temple and be a part of his endowment, him receiving his endowment. And I remember sitting next to Mary at the beginning, and I remember her leaning over to me saying, the Lord sure does love to spoil his daughters. And what's cool, in addition to what I've told you about Mary's story, is that she had been married twice before, and both ended in really, really messy divorces, painful divorces. And so she told the Lord, I'm not getting married again unless I fall in his lap at the temple. And she told us that, we told her that I think being a part of this missionary effort with John is a close second to falling in his lap at the temple. And so she just felt so blessed to be there that day, and so spoiled by her father in heaven. And the other thing she said to me was, I give the Lord a stick, and he gives me the Garden of Eden. Just another testimony of how our little efforts produce so much good in the Lord's work. And I just think about her story and how she's still in the temple, and she's so happy to serve with her husband now, and they're doing great things. That never would have happened unless she had sweet ministering sisters that were persistent and never gave up on her. So I want to add to this invitation that the rest of this presidency is giving you guys today, that that if we visit our sisters in person, we have no idea what will come. We don't know if it'll be an answer to their prayers. We don't know if we'll be able to help in a way we didn't expect through our talents or our hobbies. But what we do know is that these callings are of God and are done by his hand through his servants. And we do know that by small and simple things, great things are brought to pass. So for Mary, it was these diligent, persistent, ministering sisters that brought to pass the miracle of her eternal companion. We cannot pre-write the miracles that will happen, but we can decide to be persistent and diligent in our ministry. And I just need to read this last thing. Be strong and courageous. Visit your sisters. You never know what the Lord has in store until you are persistent in His work. Sisters, I'm so grateful for this calling. I'm so grateful to serve with Natalie and with Megan, because we've already seen miracles, and we're so excited to be servants with you in the Lord's work. And I'm so excited about ministering. I'm not perfect at it, and so those sisters that I minister to, like, please help me to know what I can do better. But I want to accept this challenge too, and visit who I can and who I can minister to. Thanks for letting me be a part of this lesson today. And again, I'm sorry that I'm not there, but I love the Lord, and I love His sisters, and I love each of you. And I say this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.